If you're seeing this, you've probably started your spiritual awakening. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what a spiritual awakening is, share some common signs of an awakening, things to look out for, and how you can deal with them. Hey guys, I'm Kim and welcome back to the Higher Vibes Tribe community, the best place for people looking to live their true, authentic life. Here we talk about everything law of attraction, mental well-being, and becoming your highest self. So I want to start this video off by saying there's no one way that a spiritual awakening is supposed to look like, and there's also no right way to have a spiritual awakening. This is called spiritual gatekeeping, aka when someone tries to tell you that you need to look a certain way or do certain things in order to say you're spiritual or have a spiritual awakening. This is just simply not true, and in fact I think it alienates so many people from just even wanting to learn more about spirituality in general. This is a safe and welcoming space for you or anyone who simply just wants to explore spirituality. Simply take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So yeah, there is no one way that a spiritual awakening is supposed to look like. I feel that often when we think of spiritual awakening or spirituality, we think of someone who runs off into the forest, leaves their friends and family, and just meditates all day. And while that is the case for some, that likely isn't going to be the case for you. And that's okay, because it doesn't have to look like that. A spiritual awakening is a highly individualized process. I found that at the beginning of my journey, I was really hesitant to explore or learn more about it because I wasn't ready to give up my current lifestyle. Like, I thought that in order to be the spiritual person, I had to give up drinking or watching Netflix. So those things really stopped me from going deeper and exploring my spirituality even more. But I'm here to tell you that you can do whatever you want. Like I said, spirituality is highly individualized and will look different for everyone. You can still drink and be spiritual. You can still watch horror movies and be spiritual. You make the rules here. And maybe over time, the things that you want to do might change, but they don't have to. Don't feel that pressure that you have to fit a certain mold in order to be spiritual or have a spiritual awakening. So I'm here to show you that you can be normal, or as normal as a human can be, and still have a spiritual awakening. So with all that said, what exactly is a spiritual awakening? And by the way guys, if you're enjoying those so far, I would really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. This would ensure that you never miss a video and will help me to keep making videos for you guys. So what exactly is a spiritual awakening? From what I've learned, there are many different types and stages of spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening isn't just suddenly realizing that we're all one and we're perfect and the universe is perfect and we're all connected. That's what enlightenment is called. And that's pretty much the goal of every spiritual awakening or life, but it takes many years for that to happen. What I'm talking about is the beginning of a spiritual awakening, which is simply curiosity. A spiritual awakening is when you start to have the feeling that there is something more, that you are something more. You start questioning what you've been told your entire life. Is it truth or deception? You start to wonder, what happens after we die? Do we really just die? Or you think, maybe I am way more powerful than I've been told. It's realizing that I am not my physical body. I am a spiritual being that has a physical body here on earth. Again, exploring these and coming to all these questions and realizations takes time, but it starts with that curiosity and that questioning that you didn't have before. So how do you know if you're having a spiritual awakening? Well, like I just mentioned, you'll start to question everything. But there are some less obvious signs that this process has also started for you. And again, this is not a concrete list. You do not have to have any of these things in order to have a spiritual awakening, but they are common and they might help some of you guys realize that you are having one. So the first way that you can know you're having a spiritual awakening is that you feel a lot more empathy and compassion for your fellow human. On your journey, you might start to feel a lot more connected to those around you. Your eyes really open to the fact that, damn, at the core of it all, we really are the same. More or less, humans all want the same thing. To love, to be understood, to be cared for, to be connected to others, to be happy, to live a good life. Like someone across the world who you think you have nothing in common with, they want these things too. You have these things in common with them. This really isn't something to be overlooked, and maybe now you find you're able to put yourself in someone else's shoes that much easier. Maybe if something on the news happens, your reaction isn't just, oh, that's kind of sad. You start to really feel for that person, their friends, and their family, and you might even start to feel the emotions that person feels. And on the flip side of that, when something great happens to someone else, you start to feel genuinely happy for them. You don't just say their happiness is your happiness, it really is. So the second sign sign that you are having a spiritual awakening is that you are drawn to spending time alone. You are realizing and seeing that there is so much to learn and rather unlearn. Doing some of the things that you used to enjoy just doesn't appeal to you as much anymore. Instead of going out all the time, sometimes you just want to stay in and work on yourself. You realize that a lot of growth happens when you're alone, and you really want to experience that growth. You're committed to doing the inner work, the shadow work, confronting your past, releasing the ego, the dark side of yourself. And this doesn't have to be a bad thing. I feel that when people say they want to be alone, this always comes with a negative connotation. Being alone and having that alone time can make you feel so much more rejuvenated and re-energized for when you do hang out with people. It may be an adjustment though. Someone who's not on their spiritual awakening yet may not understand why you want to spend time alone. And that's okay. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. And it may not be like this for everyone. I just want to be real and honest with you guys and to let you know that no one else has to understand it. It is your journey, not anyone else's. So the third way to know that you're having a spiritual awakening is that you experience synchronicities. What are synchronicities? Think of them as eerie coincidences. Like if you think about someone and they message you, or you think about getting pizza and your friend suggests getting pizza. Also seeing repeating numbers like 111, 222, 333. These are called angel numbers and they all have their own specific meaning. You can Google them and it will tell you exactly what they mean. But they are essentially messages from the universe. This happens when we're more connected and aligned with the universe. We're more in sync with the universe. So things just start to flow and start to happen for you, and you start to feel that ease and that harmony. And then these coincidences just start to become your normal reality. So the fourth way to know that you're having a spiritual awakening is that you desire to know your true purpose. You wonder why you were meant to be here. What is your mission on earth? What is your purpose? You'll start to question, am I really supposed to be spending my time in a job I don't like? Is life really supposed to be this much of a drag? You start to realize that maybe we're meant to spend our life doing what we love. And maybe that is the point of life, to spend it enjoying, loving, and laughing. You'll struggle with thoughts of feeling like this is unrealistic, but don't worry, that is all part of the process of waking up. You know there is more than what you've been told, and you are determined to figure that out. And the fifth way to know that you're having a spiritual awakening is that you care less about material things. You know that the only thing you're leaving Earth with is your soul and your growth. Not that car, not that house, not those clothes, not that designer bag. You know that the love you create here and the experiences you create here are what truly helps you grow and spiritually evolve. I'm not saying that we can't have, like, or want these things, but your desire for them will definitely decrease. You will know that this material item holds no real value. We aren't even physical bodies anyway. We just are here on Earth. We aren't our body. We just simply have a body. So yeah, material things, not that important anymore. So yeah, those are just a few signs of a spiritual awakening, but honestly, there are so many more. Wanting to spend time in nature, knowing that you are powerful, losing friends. The list goes on and on and on. But either way, you will start to wake up to your true power, your true nature, understanding eventually that we are one with this universe, that we are energy, and we aren't apart from any of this. We literally are the universe. And all of this can be really overwhelming. Something not often talked about when it comes to a spiritual awakening is that there are a lot of dark times that often come with it. Realizing that all these things you once thought true, in fact aren't, really can shake your world up. You start to wonder if you even know anything at all. And doing all of that real inner work can be really tiring and exhausting. Going back to the past, healing from trauma, getting rid of limiting beliefs, trying to free yourself from the ego, keeping yourself in check. They're all amazing and necessary, but definitely difficult. But don't turn this video off, don't turn away, even though this is daunting. I promise you it is definitely worth it. And it doesn't have to be that scary. So what is the point of having a spiritual awakening anyway? It's about waking up to your true power, your true nature of who you are. Knowing that we have the ability to do so much more than we've been told. And literally knowing that we can create our own reality. To release fear, anger, and shame, and to be light and free. Doesn't that sound nice? And if you guys want me to do a video on how to deepen your spiritual awakening, just let me know and I would be happy to do that for you guys. Once you start the work, I promise you will start to see what comes after. Each time you work through something, you will feel that much more free, that much more light, more powerful, that much more happy, and more connected. So the main takeaway I want you guys to have today is that if you are seeing this, know that you have probably started your spiritual awakening. Know that it is different for everyone and there is no right way, but likely you will start to question everything. You will feel more connected and know that there is more to life. Don't be afraid to do that inner work because there are amazing things on the other side. If you guys enjoyed enjoyed this video at all, please like and subscribe, and as always, until next time, sending good vibes your way.